It has been said that everything is bigger in Texas, and the Texas boys over at Shadow Systems have brought us something a little bit longer in the way of the new Shadow Systems DR920L right there, and the L does stand for long. All right, lead slingers. So this one right here is the new, just announced DR920L from Shadow Systems. So we're gonna go through this thing and see what she's all about, because this is the long slide that a lot of people have been asking for from Shadow Systems for quite some time. This specific model is the Elite Optics Ready version, featuring a new, stronger bronze finish on that spiral fluted barrel. The barrel is made of 416R stainless steel, has a broach cut 1 in 10 rifling, so you can use lead or moly coated ammo types, and it's 100% US made with a 100% US sourced material. The custom Shadow Systems frame has that sandpaper-like texture, which I am a huge fan of. You get a double undercut on that trigger guard. You get thumb ledges up in the front, both left and right, so no matter if you're right-handed or wrong-handed. And it's got that same sandpaper stippling texture to help you mitigate recoil. There's an accessory rail out front for all of your attachment needs, and you'll get an extended beaver tail out back for a little bit more help controlling that recoil. You will get a standard single-sided slide stop slide release and a reversible magazine release for my lefties and righties out there in the world. The best parts of the Shadow Systems frame are going to be the included magwell and the multiple backstrap options, which seamlessly fit into the backstrap for custom fitting. The slide will have serrations just about everywhere you could use or want them, from the front to the back, the sides, the top, just everywhere you could need them. Now this Elite model has all those lightning cuts, the serrations, and window cuts on each side. And the machine work across everything that Shadow System does on the slide is just top notch, and it comes in that black nitride finish. And I'm sure they'll offer other finishes in the future like they do in the rest of their lineup. It will come standard with night vision sights that will co-witness with just about every major optic brand out there in the market today, due to Shadow Systems' ultra low mount optic design, which is direct to slide, no plates needed. The optics mounting design from Shadow Systems is quite a bit different because they have redesigned the EDP system, or the extractor, depressor, plunger system in there. So basically they have shortened it up. That's what makes your extractor right there pull the old round out. So what they've done by shortening that is, if you look in the slide right here, towards the back right there, you're gonna see those two circular half-notch holes in the slide. Those are the screw holes. So you can basically get a screw from the top all the way through that slide, which gives you the most thread depth out of anything besides maybe some of the SIG slides I know in the market today, which is gonna give you the ultimate in durability and reliability, keeping that optic on there, whether it's hard use or whether you're running the slide off the optic. So that is a very cool design that Shadow Systems came up with, pretty much I think when they launched and started optics ready slides. The stock trigger that comes with the DR920L is going to be mostly a flat face design. There is a slight curve to it, and it feels quite good. Now this is a work or duty or kind of like a battle driven pistol. It's not going to be competition light. It's going to pull right in that 4.5 to 5 pound range. And I will say it does smooth out and lighten up quite a bit the more rounds you get through it. And now for my full spec people, I would never forget about you nor the elevator music that goes with a spec sheet. Now that you know all those specs, before we start talking about the range, what do you actually get in the box with this thing? So it's going to come in a white box. You will get a nylon carrying case. It's going to have your standard lock, manual, some Lucas oil lubrication, which is actually my favorite lube, the optics accessories that you're going to need, some Loctite for your optic when you put it on, the magwell tool, additional back straps, and you will get 2 PMags with it. That's enough to get you started, and you can get out there and have some fun. It will also have the optic mounting plate cover already on the slide when you order it, so if you don't have an optic right away, you're not just going to have a big bare hole on the top of the slide. How about that range, performance, and feel? So I started off slow on this like I do with anything that's new. just to get a good feel for it and see how it's going to react out there in my hands. I did give this a solid cleaning and lubrication with the included Lucas oil, which is recommended prior to my range day. Now, I will say the length definitely makes controlling the recoil much easier, and I think most people know the longer slide is going to be far easier to control, but it just gives you a very solid overall feel. The trigger on it was solid. The grip texture and those thumb ledges with included texture just help out a lot to keep this thing flat out there while running multiple rounds. Now, Shadow Systems does say there's a 200 round break-in process with their pistols, and we are definitely going to talk about that in just a minute. Anytime you're running a new pistol, especially one that's fresh to the market, you've got to run all different types of ammo through it. So I ran all of my basic ball ammo, some 115, some 124, and of course I ran some self-defense out there in the versions that I usually keep on hand, which is going to be 124 grain Spear Gold Dot, some 147 grain stuff. I think I had some critical duty that day that went through, or critical defense, sorry, not critical duty, which is really close to being the same, but all of those went through it. And even let my boy Jonathan from Tactical Toolbox get on the action with some of my hot loaded self-defense ammo out on the range.
Yeah, super easy to shoot fast.
Now, once I got comfortable with the angles, how it felt, and how it was going to perform out there, that's when the holster and the range drills began.
The shit out of that second one.
It just runs fast and it runs clean. Those less aggressive grip angles just work with me, say like compared to a Glock, but you do have room to change that to your liking with those included back straps. We did have a little fun out there with a dueling tree that my buddy Jonathan brings out, and it's from Birchwood case, and I think it fits in like a little Kydex case, so you can throw it in the trunk of your car. I love that thing because it's just a ton of fun. Now let's discuss that break-in period. So Shadow Systems says 200 round break-in period, but I cheat that. And how do I cheat that? First, I clean the crap out of the thing and I dry fire the crud out of it. So what do I mean? Take it apart, clean it all out, use the included Lucas oil. It's one of the best out in the market. And then you're just gonna dry fire, rack the slide, dry fire, do some practice. One, you get used to the angles. Two, it's only gonna make this thing feel better out on the range. Good amount of lubrication, not too much. That way you're not wasting money during a break-in process out on the range when you can do it all dry practice at home and get used to a little bit, so your range day is going to be a little bit more fun. Now, during that break-in process out on the range, I did not experience any failures except for myself. I can see the target, but I can't see if my focus fucking thing is on.
I know, and that drives me crazy. I'm gonna buy.
Did you see that?
You just got a light strike?
No, I didn't fucking chamber around, and I did like the world's biggest flinch. As you can see, the only failure out there that day was me. So I was talking to everybody out on the range. I thought I had run that slide and chambered it right before I hit the record button. I came up to press that first shot to get a feeling for it, and I damn near dug a hole in the ground. I just drove that muzzle so far down. Now driving a pistol right, getting that thing out there and driving into it and running that thing is not a bad thing. But that was definitely a super flinch.
Super flinch!
Now, in case you didn't catch that, that's not a super flinch, that's a super flinch. You gotta change the word a little bit to make it sink in so you never forget the fact that you just looked like an idiot on camera. Now, leave me a comment down below on your best super flinch at the range, or one you've seen and just how bad it really was. My final thoughts on the DR920L. I really do dig this thing, but I'm also kind of biased. So I am a huge fan of Shadow Systems, and I have been for quite some time. I've done a lot of work with Shadow Systems. I've bought some, they have sent me some for testing, so bear that in mind. But I've been a huge fan of Shadow Systems since long before they ever loaned me anything or sent me anything to review. And any issue that ever came up with one of the Shadow Systems pistols in testing, I put that on camera and I made sure it made its way into the video to remain unbiased and so that you guys can make your own mind up when it comes to the Shadow Systems brand. Well, we're at the point where we start talking cash money American. What is the DR920L going to cost us? And I'm gonna answer it, but you're also gonna have to check them out because this video dropped today. The pistol just dropped today. This is a pre-release one that I got to test. But I wanna say it's gonna come in right at a grand MSRP, which you all know means street price is gonna be a little bit less. So I'm not 100% sure because I'm currently going to be in Vegas when this video drops at SHOT Show trying to get more products for 2023 to review for you guys so we can make it the best 2023 possible. And now we have to answer that big question that someone's already asked in the comments. Would I buy this and would I carry it? And I'm gonna say absolutely yes, because I personally just bought my new carry pistol that I'm gonna be running all summer in the way of this new MR920 in that sexy gray frame with that absolutely beautiful, I hope that sticks out for you on camera, beautiful topographical slide on there, topped off with that ACSS Vulcan reticled hollow sun in green, because green for the money, gold for the honey. Well, that about covers it for the DR920L from Shadow Systems. Like I said, just dropped today at SHOT Show 2023, and I am digging it. Make sure you get subbed up to the channel, like the video, and leave me a comment down below. And if you like what Shadow Systems is doing with the new L version, all that slide that you guys have been asking for, and that new Foundation series, which is the more budget-friendly version, so people that don't want to spend that higher premium for all the little doodads like the bronze barrel and maybe that night sight up front can get into some of that Shadow Systems action too. Get out on the range, have some fun. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I will see you all on the next one.